Good morning, folks. I wanted to take another moment yet again to talk about this situation with the Amazon warehouse collapse. Now, first, I need you to understand that I realize that us on our channel have been heavily focused on this Amazon warehouse collapse, and let me explain why. I am getting a ton of news coming in about this particular incident because we live so close to it. I mean, this warehouse, a 15-20 minute drive, and you would be there from our home. So that is why I see so much news about it, because it's so local to me. There is yet another article that come out on RT, and once again, really inflating what went on and trying to cast blame on Amazon. And I am not, you should all know by now, I am far from a pro-corporate person. In fact, the best thing for this country and the world, to be quite frank, would be for these big conglomerates like Amazon and Walmart and what have you, to break apart and be no more. That would be the best thing for the people of this planet that there ever was, because they are doing so much harm economically, and not to mention they're not doing the best for the environment and stuff like that, because of the amount of sales that they encourage and all of that. It is what it is. When you consume, you are going to have all the other things that go along with it. You're going to have pollution, you're going to have this, you're going to have that, right? So I just want to make it very clear that I am not a pro-corporate kind of person whatsoever, and I'm definitely not a fan of helping to buy Bezos's, tent yacht, right? And I think Bear is commonly buying stuff off of his fifth yacht, so we'll advance to the 10th one. And I look at this situation, and it's a very, very sad story. It is. No matter what, when there is loss of life, especially through a storm, it is sad, incredibly sad. And there's no getting around that. But one thing that we don't have to do is try to put blame where there's no possibility that you could put it. And that's what I'm seeing happen here on a disturbing level, to be honest. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I know I'm rambling on. I hope I didn't run too many of you off by now, but this article I just shared out this morning: deceased Amazon workers allegedly prohibited to leave after tornado warning. Okay. That is a very common company policy. It's absolutely a common company policy that if there is an emergency, whether that be a fire, a tornado, an earthquake, that management is to keep employees stay put and try to get everybody accounted for, keep everybody together, keep everybody safe. That's actually the job of, and I talked about this last night on the live show. That's actually part of the job of being in management, being a leader, is helping keep the people that work for you safe. Sometimes that means making them do things that they don't like or that they think that they have a better idea for. Oftentimes, I could say. But this is on a level that's absolutely ridiculous. And let me show you. The U.S. Occupational Safety and Health Administration is investigating Amazon after one of the company's warehouses in Illinois collapsed during a storm, killing 6 people who were allegedly prohibited from leaving. Okay. Now, back up. if you remember what I said in last night's live show, if you listened to it, I said that I suspect there were 7 people, right? And let me run this down again real quick, and I apologize for those that have already heard it. There were 39 people that went and sought shelter in the designated area. Out of those 39 people that sought shelter in that designated area, as per management's orders, or whatever you want to call it, orders, suggestions, recommendations, requests, I don't care what name you want to put on it, management told them to go there. Out of those 39 people, 39 of them are alive. Let me make that very clear here. There were 7 individuals that, for whatever reason, was in a different part of the building. Out of those 7 individuals, 6 of them are no longer with us. 1 survived. I don't know if he's still in the hospital or not, but survived and had to undergo medical treatment. There was a text, and it talks about it. Let me go ahead and continue reading here, and I'll explain as I go. But killing 6 people who were allegedly prohibited from leaving. So, let's continue. OSHA will investigate Amazon over the next 6 months and determine whether any workplace safety violations took place in the warehouse at the time of its collapse. In a statement, Amazon said it would support OSHA's investigation, which it claimed was routine, absolutely as routine. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker said the officials would determine if there was any structural issues with the Amazon warehouse and what exactly the storm's trajectory was coming in and affecting the various pieces of the building. It was an EF3 tornado, man. That is where the problem was, right? Because most buildings aren't built to withstand an EF3. So, a series of tornadoes tore through 6 states, including Illinois, on Friday, killing more than 100 people and destroying homes and businesses. The Amazon warehouse in Edwardsville, Illinois, collapsed during the storm, killing at least 6 people who did not have adequate shelter to survive. One of the killed Amazon employees, Larry Verdon, had reportedly messaged his girlfriend to say he was unable to leave the warehouse before it collapsed on Friday. And he said, and this is a quote, "Well, I will be home after the storm. Amazon won't let us leave," Verdon wrote just minutes before he was killed. Verdon's girlfriend, Sherry Jones, claimed her boyfriend would have had around 20 minutes to get home, which was only experiencing lightning, if Amazon had let him leave. It's that what-if situation. What if they would let him leave? He could have made it home, she said. Okay, I've got a what-if. What if Mr. Verdon would have gone to the designated storm shelter area with the other 39 people that survived? What if? What if that? It's time we stop just pointing fingers. It's time we use logic. Man, this using emotion to dictate our actions has destroyed us. It gets much crazier than that. This gets flat stupid. Amazon CEO Dave Clark received backlash on social media for issuing a statement following the tragedy, which said the company was deeply saddened by the news that members of our Amazon family passed away as a result of the storm. Listen to this. Critics pointed out that the storm was forecast and questioned why Amazon allowed its employees to work under such conditions. Critics also protested over Amazon's rules that prevent employees from carrying their phones, arguing that the rule prevented staff from keeping up to date with weather warnings. Okay, so the lady from Amazon had addressed that question yesterday and said that the employees are allowed to carry their phones. They're just kind of, they're not supposed to just be using them to chat their shift away, which is common sense. But they are allowed to carry their phones. That was something that changed within company policy because of COVID, and so that is not even a fact anymore. The other thing is what is everybody just supposed to close their doors when a thunderstorm is forecast? I mean, it goes on here. It says, a quote, Amazon knew it was dangerous to force workers to show up on Friday, and yet the company did it anyway, while preventing employees from having access to potentially life-saving weather alerts on their phones, tweeted former U.S. Secretary of Labor Robert Reich. Corporate greed is deadly. Well, you know what also is deadly? Lies and misinformation, Robert. Because they did have their phones. You're talking about an employee that was texting his girlfriend. There's evidence. She admitted to it. So how could they have not had their phones if he was texting her with his? Liar. Liar. God, I cannot stand liars. And again, I'm going to ask the question, what are they supposed to do? Just shut everything down because a thunderstorm with the possibility of tornadoes is forecast? So we just shut everything on the planet down. That worked real well with COVID, now didn't it? So now we're supposed to do that now for just every storm, just because somebody's emotions, because they can't handle not being able to point the finger at somebody and blame? People need to grow up. This is an unfortunate, tragic event. And my heart and my thoughts, my prayers go out to those that lose. But I'll be damned if I sit back and watch people do everything they can to destroy because they're angry, because they can't have their way, because they don't want to look at the truth, and they just want to throw a tantrum. No. It's time to grow up. Shalom.